there's a bear out in front of you. You may be fishing, you may be hunting, you may just be hiking, could be camping, but there's a man-eater out in front of you. And he's just walking by, not paying any attention. Just think about how you feel inside when you see a man-eater walking close to where you're at. Now put yourself in the same frame of mind, only this time you're calling the bear to you. The bear's running at you, his hackles are up, his ears are laid back, and there's slobber coming out of his mouth, and this bear is coming straight at you because you're calling. Hey folks, this is Wayne Carlton, and let me tell you, calling bears is not like baiting bears, and it's not like just seeing a bear out in the woods. This is a whole different ball game, but some of the most exciting stuff I've ever done is being able to sit by a tree, and I'm a bow hunter, and let me tell you, when you call on a bear to you, and you get him within 20 yards away, and it is a big bear, a Boone and Crockett, Pope and Young, whatever, even a small bear, when you get them out in front of you, and you know that they can chew on you and hurt you, and come in there and just raise all kind of havoc, and you're sitting there by the tree, let me tell you, there's a big pucker factor going on. And if you hadn't taken your pucker pills, you probably aren't going to be able to handle it. But this is the most exciting thing I've ever done in bear hunting in my life. So this rest of this tape will hopefully get you into the realm of things on how we call bears. So let's get at it. You know, bear hunting across the United States and Canada is changing every year. There's less baiting in some places, less bear hunting. My family and I, for a long time, have had great times in baiting bears in the springtime in Colorado. But then we lost our spring bear baiting, so we weren't able to go out and enjoy what we used to in the spring. And I had to find some other way to try to enjoy bear hunting, and that's what got me to calling. I've never had the feeling, like I described to begin with, I've never had the feeling that I get quite like what you get when you're calling a bear to you. You're not sitting up in a tree stand, you're not watching a bear, he doesn't know you're there, you know he's there. This calling is a whole different ball game because he knows you're there, because you're calling trying to get that bear to come to your location, and it's a whole different deal. And there's different ways that we do it, different calls, and really and truly calling the bears, imitating the calls, that simple, setting up right, and being where the bears are at, being where the bears want to be, that's the hard part. Now I do want to warn you, if you're a bow hunter, maybe a new bow hunter, and you're trying to call bears, make sure you run down to your local drugstore and get some pucker pills, because I'm going to promise you, you will pucker up on your first couple of bears that come in. At least I did. And the closer they get, the more you pucker, and the faster they run, the more you wonder if you really want to do it. And if you're a gun hunter, let me suggest this. Do not look through your scope as a bear comes in, because you're just going to find out it's more than you can stand. But really and truly, how do you call the bears? As I said earlier, calling's easy. Finding the bears is hard. Finding where the bears want to feed, sometimes that's hard. And finding where the bears want to go to, all this is the hard part. The calling's easy, and I'll demonstrate the calls later. But finding out where they want to be, that is the hardest thing you'll ever do in trying to call bears, because most bears will come in when you call to them because they're not call shy, they haven't been called to that much. But everything that goes into that point, that's the hardest part. Now the most effective setup when you're calling bears is if you have seen the bear or if you know the bear's there. If you're just going out and doing some cold calling, that's the most least productive way to call bears. An example in Colorado, if we have a lot of acorns on the oak brush, I know in September and the latter part of August and sometimes even in October, if we have a good acorn crop, I know that I can go to where there's a lot of oak brush, find some fresh droppings, and see where the limbs have been torn down. I know that I can go there and call. But if I'm cold calling, it's extremely difficult because you never know which way the bear is going to come. And bears typically are not long distance callers. It's better to see them, it's better to spot them on a slope. It may be an avalanche chute, it may be on a hillside, it may be cactus are like down in there. Knowing what they want to think they want to. But if you're by a tree, you want them to look through you. Now, just out in the open. You don't want to be an object. Even though bears do not see well, they still can pick up an object, and you being the object. But if you're by a tree, or if you're in the brush, then you're part of the surroundings. You don't want them to be able to see you. You want them to look through you. Now, don't hide. Hide in the brush or next to a tree or in the rock.